That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
This is after Streamer University.
you're okay.
This was something for me, bro. I literally just stopped the video after 1 second after reading the caption. I wanted to show my mom, but I was like, no, I want to react to this on stream. KevOnStage. My son had a job with Vector Marketing. This thing got 5.2 thousand likes, bro. All right, let's get into it.
My wife and I had said, hey, I got a job interview on Wednesday. We're like, oh, snap, where? He's like, it's a place called Vector Marketing. And me and Liz bust out laughing. He was like, what was funny? We were like, what is the job for? He was like, I actually don't really know what it's for. But my homegirl told me about it, and they called me and they said, hey, we're offering $27 an hour. And because you were recommended to us by a friend, you're one of our prime candidates. He was like, okay, what do y'all do? He's like, oh, no, we'll tell you all about it on Wednesday. So me and Melissa were laughing. He's like, what? We're like, no, you need to go to that interview. It's a canon event in your life. He was like, what? No, just help me. Tell me. We're like, no, you need to go. But we ended up telling him and save him the time. But the fact that Vector is out here still tricking college kids into selling knives for $27. And good on him. He was like, it just didn't seem all the way right. But I didn't want her to get in trouble, so I was just going to go. But I was just like, $27, and I never had a job before. How? You are the job. You are their product. You buy the knives, and they've won already. That's how you go get $27 an hour. You're not. And they got me and Liz when we were in college, $18 an hour on a poster. We're like, $18? No, you're not doing that. You're spending $500 on knives, and you're going to sell them to no one.
Yeah. So this was my first job. I was 17. Okay, bet. Yeah. So like I was saying, this was my first job. Vector Marketing. I was 17. I just got my license, and the same day I got my first job. Was it the same day or is it the same week? It was the same week I got my first job. And let me see if I can still find it. I was so excited because I was like, yo, I got a job, bro. Like, I got a job. Hold on, let me see if I can't find it. Hold on. Let me go advanced search. Hold on, give me a second. From these accounts. Found it. Boop, there it is. June 19th, 2012. So yeah, this week, I got my license. I was 17 years old and I got my license. And then the same week I got my first job. I was officially a Vector marketing salesman. And someone was like, no. And I was like, what? And he was like, my homegirl said it's a scam or a pyramid scheme or something like that. He was like, just be careful. I said, okay, I appreciate that. Man, oh man, boy. Man, I'm trying to sell these knives because you get money from just presenting right to people. Like you get a base pay, so you get like $200 if you just present it to like at least 10 people or something like that. So one time we had family over the crib, and I did the presentation, and then I just handed it around, and everybody signed a little paper, and I think maybe like one or two people might have gotten like one knife by itself just to support me and things of that sort. And that was it. And they was like, so you made a presentation to 16 people, but you ain't make any sales? And they said, did these people just happen to be in a room at the same time? They must have knew. They was like, okay, So if you're doing these presentations at somebody else's house, it's just like basketball or sports, right? Home court advantage. I was like, all right, bro, this is crazy. I got a whole speech. I got in trouble for saying that I gave a presentation to 16 people. They was like, what are their jobs? Are this 2-parent household? Like they like, you can't even do no presentation to somebody who doesn't qualify as someone with money, bro. It was ridiculous, dog. Hold on. It was honestly ridiculous, bro. It was ridiculous. Like I got in trouble for that. And then I like went out of town to go to we went to Disney World for my little sister's birthday because her birthday's in July. So now I think about it, did I only work there for a month? I guess so. So Disney World, I turn in my kit because you got to turn in your kit if you go out of town. So I turn in my kit and I go to Disney World, bro. When I came back, I never came back to pick up my kit because it was like my check was only like $300, bro. And at the time, it was like $300 is lit, but it was like $300 for like 4 weeks worth of work. It was crazy work, bro. So I get back, never return, start my senior year. I was in a work study program, so I had to get a job by the end of the first month of the school year. So by the end of August, I got a job at Zaxby's, and then I worked at Zaxby's for a couple years. And then I worked at Botanical Gardens for a couple years in college. And then I was doing background work, I was acting, and then I was getting paid from the newspaper as the sports editor. And then I graduated and I worked in newspaper. So yeah, that's pretty much been my all my work history. I'm trying to think if I had any other jobs that were like, but no, that was pretty much it. Zaxby's, Botanical Gardens, and Vector Marketing. So there it is. There you have it. Like he said, it's a rites of passage to kind of go through it, be sold the dream. You know, like we had the guys up there. They were like, "Yeah, man, I took my dad to a steak dinner, and I pulled out one of my Cutco knives because these knives are the best knives in the world, and this and that." And another story about it was recently I went over to my uncle's house and stuff like that, and it was a family event, family function, and I was looking to get some silverware or whatever, and I seen the Cutco knife. My uncle still had the Cutco knife that I sold him in 2012. It was a heartwarming moment. So, in the midst of all the comedy of Cutco knives and things of that sort, my family members and like loved ones still have their knives that they bought from me, and I remember who bought some. So like salute to all my family members who bought one. But I didn't sell any sets though. So I didn't make no real money. The sets is $1,000 you make. I'm thinking like what $100 on them for selling $1,000 worth of knives, but yeah, that's whatever. Next. All right, and long live my uncle too, by the way, bro. That's my dog for sure.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.